Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday, and today, how do you learn the cane, all the benefits of self-protection, whether it be for the exercise, the health aspects of it, the brain training, when you don't have a training partner. That's what we specialize in doing. I'm going to share some secrets as to what you can do with that. And then we just coming off of fall cane immersion for Sobrevivencia, and just an over the top, one of the very best, and certainly the uniqueness of Maestro Reese and that's it, and Sobrevivencia as a whole. Go ahead and if you're in the Sobrevivencia, we have several free resources. You have the Facebook groups for Sobrevivencia, for Cane Flow. Just request entry. Read the description below. They'll let you write in. We also have the no-cost Cane Clarity Call. Text the CCC to the number below. And in less than 24 hours, we'll be on a conversation with you, answering questions about what it is that, how did you land here? What is it that interests you? That's all at no cost to you. So we just had this training, and we're getting a lot of calls still about, hey, do you have any ACSD coaches in my area for face-to-face training? So let me explain, because a lot of you that are calling in, I know that you have combative background, perhaps in martial arts or similar, and that's the tradition, is you were always training with someone face-to-face, and there's certainly value to that. That's why we do the immersions. That's why we have the headquarters and still offer weekly training there. However, you need to understand that both American Cane Self-Defense and Sobrevivencia are movement-based systems. What does that mean? So let me use the SV model and the training that we just offered here at Fall Cane Immersion. If you take something like what went there, all the participants will tell you that yes, there has to be a physical interaction. A lot of it was with Maestro Reese, the founder himself. In other words, I worked with him. I was in that attack mode, right? Attack, and then he's defending. But it's not the traditional model where we have an agreement that you're going to punch me in the nose and I'm going to, no. He just says attack. He doesn't tell you where to attack. And he did that not just with me, he did that also with the coaches. Don't recall, I think mostly he worked with the coaches. And so there's several factors that take place. You've been to other immersions. Those of you who have been to other immersions, you know that it's a lot more physical and doing and getting with a partner and especially but if you don't understand the movement, you're not going to get anything else. And the idea behind the movement is that both ACSD and SV, we're not producing robots that fit in a particular mode. Instead, what we do is based on the way that you move with your weaknesses, your strengths. Weaknesses, I mean, everything from your level of experience to everything that you've been through in life, injuries, how it is that you move. Maestro Reese always points out it's very difficult to all of a sudden impose a new way of moving and doing things when you've been doing 30, 40, even 50 years. As we have some of our caners that come in from different systems, and now you're looking to change all that. So there's a very subtle and intelligent way about going about that. When you're going to a movement that is so fluid, it moves, there's just a couple, less than a handful of principles that you need to be aware of early on in your training. But it's about giving you something bite-sized, and then you're going out and training for that. So for instance, everybody's going, hey, next year, level 2. Well, level 2, I can tell you this right now. We do have the dates for fall, for winter cane immersion, and that's going to be February 20th through the 23rd in 2023. But I can guarantee you that it's not going to be SV level 2. That doesn't mean that there isn't going to be an SV training, and we'll get into the reveal of that pretty soon. But why is it not going to be level 2? Because he wants you to have those other 6 months, you'll have a year to work on what he gave you. It'll be reinforced with the video if you want to avail yourself of these other training tools and things that we're doing for SV that we'll be announcing soon. But it is a movement-based system. It teaches you how to move based on how you're built, on how you're already moving, on the fact that you've been walking for a long time with a limp. And the second reason why you're not getting started immediately with a training partner, there are some drills that were done, is because you still don't know how to train in that manner. And if you noticed, a lot of times the reason that Maestro Risi told me, hey, I'm not even going to use the coaches for this because I need you to come at me hard. And what that means is, for instance, if he's protecting, he was demonstrating how the guards in SV, the cane is held close to you. I'm not going to get into the why. I've explained it before. He demonstrated there, but it has to do with why the system was developed. He wants you to pick up that cane and come at him hard and make contact, boom, and he says, and each one is progressively harder because he wants you to trust the fact that when you have that position there in that movement, he's showing you that you are protected. You're gonna feel the hit of the blow, but it's not gonna bust your ribs and everything there because the cane is there to protect you, but you're also protecting the cane. And again, I'm not gonna get into the technique of that, but that's the other thing. If you don't have the movement down first, the solo exercises, in the exercises, you have the movement, then you're not going to be able to train with somebody else because you don't even know how to attack and you don't know how to do the movement, and safety is always first. And one thing is doing that empty hand, another thing is doing it when you have something like this that is very unforgiving. Now, the advantages that you have. So let's dial back to the headquarters, ACSD headquarters, 20, 30 years ago, right when this whole thing started. And you come to class on Monday. Follow me here and tell me if you're familiar with this. You go to class on Monday, and now you don't come back till Thursday. You're supposed to practice between that Monday and that Thursday. Now, that may or may not happen because you're on your own. Now, if you are practicing by your own, we don't have our trained eyes on you. Back in the day, we didn't have that. We didn't have the technology. We didn't have the way to do that. That just wasn't common, right? And so now you mentally are like, you know what? I'm going back on Thursday, so I'll just pick it up there. So now when you come in, if you did train, we have to correct what we didn't see you do Monday through Wednesday, if you even did anything. So now it slows everything down even more. And now we have to get it. And if you were doing things incorrectly, then you have to rely on, I have to remember, and hopefully I did enough repetition. Fast forward to today, you have a trained professional that gives it to you. You get to see the video. You get to do it live with him. You get to see the video of that recording over and over. And now you practice. He gives you the feedback. Here's the key. Before your next class. So that now when you go to your next class, you are doing things, you're practicing, we ensure that you're doing things correctly. That's the method that we use. And it's not dependent because it is a solo basis. It lends itself beautifully to at-home solo training. In the event that you physically cannot get, so take the pandemic for instance, right? A lot of gyms, a lot of hand-to-hand combat system, martial arts, gosh, they had to close. I know them personally here in Miami and all over. They got really hit by that. Conversely, ACSD at that time blew up. And the reason for it is because that was playing into what we do. We had been doing that already for decades. We just got busier doing what we already did. And the other thing that I encourage you to do is to go into the Facebook or go into the website and look at the experience of those that have come before, because it's track record. And I'll state the following, and I'm not saying it to boast. Those of you that know me, I call a spade, and I'm just stating this as a fact. But just during pandemic times alone, right, in the past 3 years or so, nobody has certified or trained more cane leaders than ACSD. And doing it this way. Why? Because it's something that we already have refined. So what's the secret here? What do you do? Movement-based system that is not, that lends itself beautifully. Because if I throw you a cane, you should be able to show me what you can do with it. Now you can do that with SV. Maestro Reese can do that. And when you see him, you're like, I want to flow like that guy. You see it in cane flow all the time. You're looking at cane flow and you say, it's cane dancing, right? That's exactly what we want the casual observer, the untrained individual, to see. We don't want to see you working at a park. We don't want anybody to say, oh man, that guy's dangerous with that cane. Ugh. You know, he looks like he's bashing heads. That's not ACSD. Oh, there's an aggressiveness. No, they have a smile on their face. Yeah, they have music on, they're dancing with a cane. Then you come into the training, right? You enroll in anything from the foundational training, the 6-week challenge. You might move on to advanced. You get maybe into the empty hand aspect of it. You keep moving. Maybe you do SV, Sobrevivencia, American cane boxing, and we show you what those movements are in the application, both with the cane and the empty hand, and that takes it to another level. You know, you just, wow, your eyes are completely open and you're like, wow, yeah, I want to do more of that dance. Doesn't matter. You come as you are. I don't care if you have 2 left feet. You have individuals that have everything from, yes, from MS to arthritic conditions to they had a stroke. They have limitations of having lived life. How's that? And you come as you are because we're experts at circumventing that. Right now, you go with an ACSD qualified and certified coach because there's a lot that goes beyond that. Just simply having access to the curriculum. Right? Oh, I did this. Well, you don't have the credentials to go ahead and do that. There's a significant difference. Oh, I almost graduated. Oh, I almost got there. Yeah, that almost is a lesson in and of itself. And the coaches and those that cross the finish line know this. And it's important. And I love what Maestro Reese said towards the end of SV. And everybody had a great laugh out of this. He says, you know, there's a lot of individuals that go out there, they present their material, they're very careful about what, you know, the people recording them or sharing it with others. I tell you, you go ahead, you learned it here, you want to share it with your friends, you want to go ahead and do it. That's great. Doesn't matter to me because the next time you come back, I will have changed it all. You know, and you're looking at it like, what? And I just love that because that's at the heart of SV. SV is about you. As a caner, taking the principles and applying it. It's not about copying a you know, something that is you know, you're basically emulating, you know, what somebody else is doing. That's not going to work. Because the way I move is the way I move, right? There are some principles in place, but it's all about you becoming the best you with the tool and without the tool and with whatever you have in your hand. And yeah, so that's the secret to you got to have the system and the tools to really make it effective. All right, but if that's something that interests you, we're here for you, and it all begins again with that no-cost cane clarity call. Go ahead and text CCC to the number on the screen, and we're always here. Yes, I do answer the phone like everybody else. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, especially if you're following Sobrevivencia, because we'll have some exciting announcements soon. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense and SV, and thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.